we don't promote positive and ownership of your company. I'm making it cool to be smart.
What's going on with all my billionaires out there? This the guy, Hussle'S Billionaire. Welcome to Hussle'S Billionaire TV. Big favor, big abundance. It's cool to be smart. On today's episode, we gonna be talking about Big U and several others. Brick Baby, Loose Cannon getting arrested by the feds on a Rico case, man. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about it, man. So Big U, who is Eugene Henley, better known as Big U, being charged in a federal Rico case including multiple crimes. Okay, the feds are alleging that Big U was using his street ties and gang ties to the rolling 60s Crips to run a mafia-like organization. Say this boy running a mafia-like organization. Okay, Big U. The 58-year-old Henley has charges in his racketeering case, including extortion, right? What he be calling checking in. He love to say checking in. You know what's so crazy about this case is they got stuff from podcasts with guys talking about a lot of this stuff, and it's like the self-snitching is just insane, right? So, extortion, what he like to call checking in, human trafficking, prostitution, with sex workers, the manipulate or transportation of sex workers, fraud, murder charges. Even got murder charges in this case on the up and coming 21-year-old LA rapper who Henley used to coach little league football. So let's stop there right there. So he has alleged murder charges in his Rico, right? And I'm gonna get into that in just a little bit. For a young rapper, right, that he had signed to his label Unique Music, that he used to coach little league football with, and the young guy stayed with him also as well. He was only 21. That's still a baby. So if this is alleged true, right, if Big U is cold enough to unalive a 21-year-old baby that grew with him, who he coached little league football and let stay at his house, right? If he did that, what you think really happened with Nip, right? What you think really happened with Nip? He ain't come up with Nip like that. You get what I'm saying? But I'm gonna touch on that a little bit later, man. Henley also misappropriated funds from his non-profit Big U Enterprises and deposited funds and donations from the non-profit charity right to his personal account. Okay, they have the paper trail. So the feds are saying they got the paper trail on that. Henley is alleged on a he's also alleged on a wiretap admitting the crimes. Also, there is video surveillance of him being the last person seen with the young rapper Rayshawn Williams, who had an altercation with Big U after Big U allegedly learned of Rayshawn making a diss song about him. So after Rayshawn Williams made a alleged diss song about Big U and was also missing some studio time, right? Big U and another one of his partners, Sylvester Robinson, had drove down to Las Vegas to confront Rayshawn. When they confronted Rayshawn, they ended up leaving. I guess there was some type of altercation in the studio. They ended up leaving the studio, getting into Big U's car, and that was the last time they seen Rayshawn alive. And also Big U's locations on his phone stopped giving location during the time where Rayshawn was in his car for those last few moments. And then Rayshawn's body turned up in a ditch in the desert in Vegas with gunshot wounds, but a fatal shot to the face with a revolver that he just so happened to rap about in his rhymes. Bro, this is kind of just like, you know, this is all alleged, but like, if Big U was doing this stuff, bro, I mean, what do you call that? Like, that's, I mean, if that's what you did, you gotta face. He looking at life. He's looking at life in prison. I mean, so if you did that, I mean, then that's on you. Okay. Yeah, so they got him for an altercation, right? They got him on an altercation with that rapper. After he made the diss song, he was found shot in the face in the desert in a ditch. His family members tried to reach out to Big U in regards to the whereabouts of Rayshawn, to whom Big U said he don't know what happened to him, and then he just stopped answering they calls altogether. Henley also allegedly ordered the surveillance video from the studio. Remember, that's not his. He just got it arranged as a favor, removed from the studio. So he got the surveillance video removed, right? After Rayshawn was found unalived, right? He got the surveillance video removed and destroyed, right? He also told a witness to not speak on anything that they possibly could have saw. Also, this boy Big U got a lot of stuff on this plate, man. They also directed the robbery of a LA dispensary after they stopped making extortion payments. Okay, so he was charging the LA dispensary like $25,000 a month, right? After they stopped making the payments, Big U allegedly sent some guys in there to rob and beat up the guy, which they did, because he stopped paying his extortion payments. And it's a lot of other stuff in there. There's multiple other guys arrested. A Sylvester Robinson, who also in his late 50s, and Mark Martin, who's in his 50s also as well. Also Loose Cannon, who we know as a YouTube personality. Also Brick Baby, who we know as a YouTube personality. All of them are tied to the Rolling 60 Street Gang. Okay, so kids, number one, stay out of gangs. I mean, this is really what, I know y'all hear that so much, that's so cliche, but this is the reality of what gangbanging really is, right? It's not something that you want to involve yourself with, right? Because look at what happened. This is you dead or in jail. They always say that. It doesn't matter how long you last in it, whatever, dead or in jail if you keep actively gang banging. So Big U has to face those federal charges. These aren't state charges. This the feds. The feds have been watching this man since 2021, and they have compiled enough evidence to make this Rico case and pick up all these guys. Okay, so you know, a lot of people, you know, when they talked about Nipsey and Big U, and you know, Big U having a hand in that, when you read some of these charges, when you read some of the stuff that's going on, you're not telling me that you not second guessing in your mind and thinking that Big U possibly could have had something to do with Nip being unalive, and old buddy just not gonna snitch. Like, he already had a bad name in the hood for being a snitch. I just believe he one of them guys that's just not gonna snitch. He okay with, you know, passing behind the wall as long as probably money was given to whomever it needed to be given to, right? When you hear charges like this, and then listen to the situations. This was a little boy that he grew up with, that not raised, but he coached him in Little League football, and he used to stay with him when he was in high school. Right, and he unalived this little boy, allegedly shot in the face and thrown in a ditch. And they said that he dragged his dead body into the ditch, right? Cut off his location. If he did that to a little boy that he known since he was a little boy, because 21 is still a young man, that's still a young boy's mind. If he did that to a young boy that he known since he was a baby over a diss song, you don't think he would get Nip hit? Nip did a diss song on Big U, right? Everybody know about that, right? Nip was gaining power in the hood. Everybody know about that. Nip name was ringing bells in the hood. Nip was taking over. Nip had a meeting with the police the next day. Nip was the one doing right by the community and building in the community and really trying to give back and help everybody. It wasn't no mafia. Nip wasn't with all that extorting people no more. He wouldn't let DJ Khaled get extorted. He wouldn't let nothing happen to nobody on his watch. He wasn't allowing none of that. So if you think that, and that was probably cutting in the Big U money, right? So if that's cutting in the Big U money, right? Cutting in the Big U power, and Nip dropped the diss song on him, And it's documented that they already have multiple physical altercations. You don't think Big U will have somebody come hit Nip and pay whatever they gotta pay? He probably, I'm not, this all alleged, but I'm just saying, bro, that definitely makes a lot of sense. Definitely makes a lot of sense. And I wouldn't be shocked if that came out later on down the line. But the only person that really can speak on it is Eric Holder. And if there's anybody else that knew about it that got picked up in this indictment, if they got some solid evidence where they could possibly get their time cut, if all these guys gonna stay solid, then it is what it is. But come on, man, when I read that, that made my skin cringe, bro. Like, dark-hearted people, and once again, this all alleged, so innocent until proven guilty. But dark-hearted people do dark things, and they don't need to be in a community with regular people, bro. Real talk. That's too grimy. That's too unstable, and that's too grimy if somebody moving like that. Right? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, man. This the guy, Hussle'S Billionaire. Big favor, big abundance. It's cool to be smart. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. This the guy, Hussle'S Billionaire. Big favor, big abundance. I'm gone.